I have been playing a party game. It's the summer. Let me preface this. It's the summer.
Yeah.
It is
Why I'm in a
obviously
tank
hot.
top.
Yeah, it's why you're in a tank top. I'm not wearing pants. No, I am. Just kidding. I'm wearing jorts. No, it's the summer. It's hot. It's it's the time where we all get together. If we're outside, if we socialize, we have fun. And summer is really good for party gaming, whether it's indoor or out there. Preferably outdoor if it's warm. If you're one of the folks that likes to sweat their booties off, but I play video games indoors. I don't take my video games outdoors. One game that is perfect for the summer, should be at least, is a game called
Boktai.
No, is a game called Pool Party. When you think of Pool Party, what do you think of, JJ?
The Simpsons, the one where Bart gets the pool and he breaks his arm and he can't get a leg and he can't get in the pool. That's what.
Exactly correct. Billiards.
Yeah, of course.
Pool Party is a billiards party game, like a four-player sort of one of those mass chaos one screen party games, right? So you have you take control of a little ball, a billiard ball, a pool ball here, as we say in the U.S., and it's all physics based, and you're either bashing into the other people or you're trying to score.
This absolutely looks like one of those events that we go to off site for PAX East.
Yes,
like come to the college and check out.
Yeah. I'm going to say right away the idea of a physics based chaotic game is actually kind of fun. Has a bunch of like mini games. Essentially, you're seeing.
Oh, that's just Mario Party.
Videos.
Hell yeah!
It kind of is very Mario Party like. So the some of the games are pool, which is just straight up pool. Try to get your ball in the pocket, or you're trying to knock your opponents into the pockets. And then there's sumo, which is really fun. Actually, that's kind of the one I like the most, which is basically trying to knock the other players off of a big target.
That's like the Mario Party game. That bumper balls.
Yes. Obviously, there's football, which is teams of two trying to get the ball into the net. There's tennis, which is played really similar. You're trying to get past them, but it's sort of a wider area. And it's really. And then there's sort of like there's a couple modes which are, I think, Jinxed and Idle, which is kind of a keep away, whether you're trying to stay away from everybody else because you have sort of the idle type of thing, or you're trying to lose your curse, trying to bump into somebody else and pass on a curse to them, the last person standing type of thing in reverse, right? So there's really only a handful of party game like modes in this. There's like, let's see, I think like eight different modes in this. And you can either play locally or locally. I think you can play online actually. It's called Tournament. Either way, it is. It's a little on the content light side.
Thin.
It's a little thin on the content.
How's the physics?
The physics are really good. The physics are really good. And I gotta say, this is a game you have to play on a big screen because the balls are just small enough, like the characters are just small enough where if your screen is too small, you're gonna be losing where you are, especially with, the ball's bouncing around sometimes really fast if you're near the edges, near the walls and stuff. And you're trying to aim as you're shooting like soccer balls or pool balls or whatever, or your opponents into corners. It can be kind of difficult to aim, so it can be a little bit chaotic. But that being said, I mean, it's actually fun physics. I think this is it reminds me a lot of Duck Game, if you guys have played Duck Game, in that it keeps track of your wins. So you get like a certain amount of points per win, and you play like I think there's like a party mode, which is really the way you want to play. I don't think you want to play this in individual
That's a good
games.
logo, by the way.
It is a really good logo. But the party mode version is essentially it just spits out a bunch of different games, and everybody kind of votes on which of the three games that are presented, modes are presented. Then you play that one, and then you just rack up points based off of who wins, who's second, who's third, who's fourth. And then by the end, like I said, I mentioned Duck Game, but by the end, whoever has the most points ends up winning. So you can actually come in second or third in a lot of the games and still end up winning the whole shebang, depending on stuff. And some of these games modes move real quick. Like the sumo mode is seconds. The whole thing could be over if you just aim correctly or people go off the edges. And then there's the then there's stuff like the soccer mode or the pool mode where you're actually trying to get your colored ball in the kind of the holes on either side, but the holes switch, so they'll be closed. One hole on the right will be closed, one hole on the left will be open. The ball that you just had on the right, you have to get all the way to the other side before somebody else, you bounce into somebody else. So there's definitely chaos involved. I think the chaos is kind of fun. It's a very content-light game. I really feel like this is the kind of game that like younger kids are really gonna enjoy because it is fairly easy to control. And actually, really, I mean, there's just you're either kicking or using the attack button, I guess you call it, or your bounce, the roll button, and that's it. And all you're doing again, you're aiming and you're trying to get.
This is 100% a Switch game. Like I see that it's on Steam and PlayStation, and I'm like, I think it's going to do its most traffic on the Switch. This is definitely one of those things that you will just see in the eShop and be like, this looks fun.
Yeah, it's kind of fun for. I mean, it's a party game. It's going to be fun for in your regular party game mix. You might stay out. Mario Party is great. Mario Party can last quite a long time, but maybe you're playing like Switch Sports, or maybe you're playing Mortal Kombat. I don't know why you play on the Switch, but maybe you're playing a game and you're like, let's take like a 10-15 minute break and play something else, and you'll play this. If this wasn't light in content,
nestled in between the Jackbox party games and stuff.
Exactly.
Did you play this with your family? Did you?
Yes, I did. Okay. Yep, I played with my family. My daughter didn't love it only because she's in like early teen mode, and she's in that
zone now. So.
In that zone where her parents aren't cool anymore. But I reckon if she has some of her friends or some of the other younger relatives playing, she would have a blast because it is. You can find yourself laughing a little bit if you're making some bad moves and so on.
She doesn't want to be like griefing her dad and just cringe.
Well, I think the physics aspect of this actually kind of really levels it out so that it doesn't matter how good you are at aiming. If somebody else is purposefully if somebody else is playing bad, then it makes everybody play bad just because of the nature of a physics-based game like this. And I think that actually works fairly well. Again, it's the kind of game that it's in between. You're gonna play it in between. You might play it for like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's not gonna be a game that you're gonna be passionate about, but it's a party game. It's there. It serves its purpose. I just wish there was some more variety in content. Like I wish the levels for the football, which is soccer, surprisingly. I wish, there were other types of obstacles, or the levels are different. Maybe there's sand. Maybe there's, maybe the size of the sumo target area is different, or it's different shapes or whatever. I wish there were some other types of mixes thrown in, because they're all just the same levels over and over again. And you can
Sometimes
kind of get, I don't want to say bored, but you kind of be like, okay, I know my favorite positions in this, but yeah.